Hey everybody, Two Bobs here with another show and tell. It's been a while since I've done one of these with the holidays and everything. Life kind of took over, but let's go ahead and get into it. So this is 48289 F-15A Fightin 49ers. This sheet hits a little close to home since Alamogordo, New Mexico is my hometown. Went to high school there, and very familiar with these aircraft as I lived on base and saw them flying around all the time. Actually, during the summers, I would caddy at the local golf course there on base for these pilots out there at home. And so, very familiar with these aircraft. We got a ton of references on them, and I've been sitting on those for quite some time. Decided to go ahead and do a sheet. So here we are. So we made it a point to represent all three squadrons in the 49th Wing, and there's a couple special schemes in here that we'll get into. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first one here is the Wing King jet with 49th Tactical Fighter Wing. There's multiple versions of these markings, specifically the font and the style of these arrows in the nose art. There's also obviously differences in the aircrew names, etc. And some of the things you should pay attention to when you're doing this your build is we have two different styles of stencil data, and you'll see that called out specifically for each aircraft. And then also the guys at Holloman sometimes would slant the aircrew names to align with the canopy rail, and other times they would just put it horizontal with the ground. So pay attention to that as you're doing this build. Okay, so this is a 49th Fighter Wing Wing King aircraft from January '84. I was a junior in high school uh, when uh, when that aircraft was done up like that. So here's another uh, aircraft from the 7th Tactical Fighter Squadron, the Screaming Demons. Colonel Charles Horner, which later became General Chuck Horner. Stencil type is A on this aircraft. So that's a 7th. Scroll down here to this other aircraft. This is from the 8th, the Black Sheep. Pretty famous squadron. So you can see here stencil type B. Okay. And then we'll get to the back instruction sheet. So back here you'll see the 9th represented here, this aircraft, 77153, stencil type B. We'll scroll down here to this 833rd Air Division jet. This one's kind of cool. I like this one the most, to be honest. It's got the tail shadows. It's got the overlapping markings here on the intake. That's kind of cool. It's just a little more of a colorful jet. One of the things you'll find is that on this aircraft is kind of unique in that the drop shadow on the tail codes actually goes back and up, not back and down. So kind of cool. I like this one. And then the wing tank markings for the Wing King aircraft. So some of the references you'll find online, it shows a different style font. We went ahead and picked this one, this version. So there's that. Some reference photos and stencil placement markings for the tops and the bottoms. So be aware that the colors that were used on this time frame Eagles were the older paint colors. Okay, let's get into the decal sheet. So here we go. As I stated earlier, we have two different styles of stencils. Stencil type A. You can see this is a more modern Helvetica Arial, for lack of a better term, style font. And then you get down here, stencil type B. This is a more military stencil type font. These are older, obviously. That was the original font that was used on these aircraft. Lots of detail. In these markings, and you can see the amount of detail that goes into these stencils. I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying the fact that I went ahead and broke these up into different parts of the aircraft makes it easier to find, in my opinion, as you're going through your build. Um, so hopefully that's been helpful. Inserts, well, one insert anyways. You can see the different font type here for the different aircraft. And then big markings on this insert. Pretty cool stuff. It's always impressive when you can zoom in on those little markings and see how much detail goes into it. All right, so that's it, guys. Available now. 16 bucks. Pretty solid deal. Pick you up a sheet and build a old school Eagle. All right, thanks.